consultant, and hopefully now I can add comedian to that. You know what that all means is that I'm not only a doctor, but I play one on TV. So I have been on Fox numerous times, not on Cops yet. I have been on CNN numerous times. You know Anderson Cooper? Anyone?
Yep. Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Can you let him know to return my call? The guy will not call me back. You know Larry King? No, he won't return the calls either, especially since he's retired. A couple weeks ago I was in LA. I'm working on developing a TV show, and some people in LA wanted to meet with me, so that's good stuff for my career. But while I was there, I had one of my buddies out there introducing me to a whole bunch of people at different bars and restaurants on things, and we ran in this one bar, and who's there but Charlie Sheen is there. And he walks up to Charlie Sheen and says, "Charlie, here's Dr. E, man. You don't know him yet, but you will." He says, "He's a psychologist, does a lot of work with the media. You'll see, you'll see." So he goes, Dr. E, come over here." So Charlie says, "Hey, I hear you're a psychologist. Can I get some free therapy?" And I said, "Well, you dress kind of cool. Can you give me some advice on your clothes?" So we say, yeah. So we swapped stories. I spent about 2 hours with him. And then what he did? He took the shirt off his back and gave it to me. Signed it too. So, really happened. Not. So, I love a good comedian who can tell a good, wholesome joke. So, you know, your great comedians like Bill Cosby, Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Falwell. Well, maybe not Jerry Falwell, but I did write my own wholesome joke. It is not easy to write jokes, let me tell you guys. I never thought, you know, people always say I'm just funny, you know, and I'm like, really? But anyway, so Jesus and a Roman soldier are walking down the streets of Jerusalem together. Jesus points to the sky and says, "My Father made that." They walk a little further with the soldier. He points at a garrison soldier and says, "You made that." They then walk down the street and they walk into a bar. Jesus points at the bar and says, "I made that." The best part is, the prophets are killer. All they have to do is pay for the water. Jesus is a carpenter. Water to wine. Sorry, just had to lead you guys down the path. I also have a daughter, 5 years old, most wonderful gift of my life. And she is a big fan of nursery rhymes, and so am I. My 3 favorite writers of nursery rhymes were Mother Goose, Hans Christian Andersen, and Andrew Dice Clay. How do you guys remember Andrew Dice Clay? The Dice Man. All right, you know, Little Miss Muffet, Little Boy Blue, Little Jackson. In case you don't know, Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with a buck and a quarter. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh! Little boy blue. He needed the money. So that's the Dice Man. Dice Man has turned a little bit through time, but I have written a few of my own I'd like to share. Be ready. And I did bring some guests too. Jack may have been nimble, but wasn't too quick. He got caught by his mom once, playing with his wee Willie Winky. And through the town. Upstairs and downstairs and in his nightgown, rapping at the windows and screaming through the logs, "Hey lady, open up and I'll show you my clock." Let me introduce Sigmund Freud. I was always a fan of nursery rhymes from when I was a little boy in Austria. You know, my mother would always read them to me before I went to bed. And as I got older, I began to understand that nursery rhymes weren't just written for children. No, not at all. They were really written by adults for adults. So what I did when I was developing my own theories about the world is I took some time to reinterpret a few. So let me read you one. You all know Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife and couldn't keep a put in a pumpkin patch, and Erik kept her very well, correct? Okay, you obviously... Can you understand my accent? I'm sorry, I'm from Austria. So anyways, here we go. Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife and couldn't keep her. I wonder why. Then he asked her for some pointers, and now she keeps him very well. How's that for an Oedipus complex? So, next I'd like to welcome a singer from the 80s. Perhaps remember him, some of his songs, Faith and Father Figure. I wonder if he wrote Father Figure about any of my work. But, without further ado, George Michael. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for having me here today. You know, I've had some problems with, you know, smoking a little weed in the law and things like that, and I had a little time in the pokey to think about what I'd done, and you know, kind of hard to just think so seriously about it. So I wrote a little something for you. So it's based on Georgie Porgy. Georgie Michael liked to get high. I sang to the girls and made them cry. And one day I ran out of weed and drove out to get more. I made a wrong turn and drove through a store. Tommy Flanagan. So yeah, I'd like you to thank you for having me. And you know, I really know that that song Father Figure was really written about me and my wife, Morgan Fairchild, whom I have seen naked. But you know, a lot of people tell me that I've had a weight problem throughout time. Well, I would beg to differ. But you know, I have been working out with Jillian Michaels of the Biggest Loser fame. And I've seen her naked too, yeah. Let me share something with you I wrote. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and then he got on the Biggest Loser, and now he's looking slim and tall. But seriously, you know, it's been just a few years since I've been out of office, and who thought that, you know, we'd be in another war in Libya, you know, sounds like Libya. I like saying that. I wish we'd get a war with them. I could have said that a lot on the news, you know. But so we were at war with Libya, and who think we'd have a nuclear meltdown in Japan? What's up with that? You know, they make a darn good car, but can they make a nuclear reactor? But I would sit in these meetings in the Oval Office, and I'd write a few things down, and I'd like to share a few stories I wrote about my buddy Dick. So. That didn't sound right. But there was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile. That stands for our campaign. He found a crooked sixpence besides a crooked style. That's for campaign financing. He bought a crooked congressman who had a crooked spouse. And we all lived together in the White House. Here's another one I wrote about Dick. I had a little nut tree, and nothing would bear but a silver nut sack and a few gray hairs. And then my wife's doctor thought I might be ill, and now we're living large with my little blue pills. You know what they say, better lives through science and corporate profits. Thank you for listening today. All I ask is that you love a lot, laugh often, and live your life to the fullest. Thank you.